Rock Your Life peeps, I want to talk to you about how to connect to people, how to really connect to people. Obviously, that's the lifeblood of us as network marketers. We have to talk to people. And you have to connect to people on a deeper level. And obviously one of the biggest hurdles of that is this fear that almost everyone has of rejection. If you have that fear, then you'll want to pay close attention to the message that I'm going to share with you about how to connect to people even when you have that fear. In fact, the way that I'm going to teach it, that fear goes away. Most recently, I read a book from the Arbinger Institute, and it's called The Outward Mindset. And outward meaning that you see life outside of yourself. And what I got out of that, just in a nutshell, is that when you connect to people with an agenda, in other words, if you think, man, I got to go talk to people and I got to talk to them about isogenics, and they're going to reject the message, and oh my gosh, I'm going to feel bad, they're going to think I'm a salesman, they'll never talk to me again. I mean, that's what's going through your head, let's be honest. It went through mine too. I mean, for years, I didn't know how to talk to people. Call them up, say, are you fat? Do you want some weight loss? I mean, that's kind of what I thought, you see, because I had an agenda. So here's the key to connecting. Get rid of the agenda. You're just purely trying to understand who they really are, period. Here's something that I had to practice this. I had to bust through and I guess challenge this assessment, this assertion about an agenda. And so a couple of Saturdays ago, I just went to the mall with the purpose only of connecting to people without an agenda. I had some of the best conversations with people. The first guy I talked to was sitting next to me on a park bench, and I was trying to kind of look at him, trying to assess, why is this guy sitting here on this park bench? And I turned to him and I go, your wife's shopping, huh? And he goes, yep. And I go, man, I totally get that. It's just better to stay out of the way, isn't it? He goes, yep. And you could tell he didn't really want to talk to me. And so I just left it at that. But see, I broke the ice because I didn't, care if he got in isogenics or not, because they didn't have an agenda other than to connect and to fill. And so I did. I was compassionate. I felt with empathy that he was sitting on that park bench, getting out of his wife's way while she was shopping. I then saw some salespeople. They're setting up this table, and they were selling memberships to a brand new gym that's going to open here in Las Vegas. And so I went up to them, and as they were kind of just starting, they were getting their cards out on the table and things, and it was kind of maybe a guy in his mid to late 30s, and then a young girl that was maybe in her mid 20s. So you had this alpha male, this older guy, and this newbie salesperson that maybe he was training. And so I go up to him first, and I go, "You got any customers yet?" And he says, and he just went in, and so you could tell he had an agenda with me. Oh no, we're having this new gym. He had his car, blah 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 blah. I mean, he was just verbal vomiting over me, totally. And what was funny, he says, "Yeah, I don't verbal vomit over anybody." I mean, he didn't use those words. I just teach them, and they decide if they want to join. I go, dude, that's not what you did to me. And so I felt myself having my agenda come back to repitch him an isogenics. I didn't go there. I just asked him, "Are you from Vegas?" No, he moved here from Michigan. And I learned that he was a prior network marketer. He was hosed in another company. Because he asked me what I did, I said, well, I'm an exercise, junkie. That's the first thing he says, what do you do? And he says, oh, you'll love, and then he pitched the gym again. And I go, I'm really happy at the gym I had's close by. I have I pay $8 a month the rest of my life. And I'm, like that. And so we got into this nutrition and exercise, and then I said, I'd like to stay in contact with you because maybe there's somebody that I know that would really like your gym. And Oh, my granddaughters are here, so we're gonna get a little granddaughter noise. Come here, girls, give me a hug. I'm online. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. I haven't seen them in like.
You haven't seen us
Okay.
in like almost the whole We've been gone the whole
I know.
summer.
Okay, I gotta finish recording.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. All right, you guys got to see my granddaughters. And so I said, you know, I'd like to stay in contact with you. And I go, and then I says, are you like never going to get a network marketing gig? He says, no. He says, you know, when the right opportunity comes along, I might. And I says, well, I'm a network marketer, and I have a nutrition product. It really fits perfectly with what you're trying to do. Then he tried to get me to contact his gym owner and connect that away. And I go, well, maybe. So he gave me his email address. And so there again, I got one email address, and I've talked to 2 people. And then I started asking her questions, and he jumped in and started to answer. But I finally got a hold of her. Make a long story short, she moved here from New Jersey. I asked her if she knew who Alexis Romano was, and she surprisingly said, no, but my dad's talked about her. And I go, hey, I'd like to stay in contact with you. And she goes, me too. So I got her email address. Now, I have emailed them twice, even offered to let them present their gym idea to my Isogenics people, and they haven't gotten back to me yet. So I don't know how to serve them yet. And then the beautiful thing. So now I've talked to 3 people, gotten 2 email addresses, and then I'm walking down the mall, and there's 4 ladies. There's 2 ladies at 2 tables. And I just went up, and I watched first, and no one was talking to them. And so I went up, and I started to chat with them. Well, I come to find out these are 4 felons who are addicts, and they're in a shelter for females. That's kind of a year-long program. And they were just trying to get out the mission of this place, and we connected because I'm an addict. So our stories meshed, and I was deeply just involved in their stories, and we cried together. And see, I didn't have any agenda other than just to connect. It was beautiful. And then I felt inspired when I had all these ladies together. I go, what are you going to do when you get out of your facility? And well, I'm going to go back to school, and I heard various things, and I just said, are you kind of worried that maybe now that you're a felon, it's going to get hard to be a job? And they go, yeah, we've been told it's going to be tough. And I go, you know what? I think I might have an opportunity for you that may work in conjunction with you getting a job. And each of these ladies told me what their why was. And it's consistent with the why in Isogenics, about helping people, about serving them, about getting them not only physically healthy, but we help them financially, we help them emotionally in a lot of ways, just because of love and our team and our culture. And they all gave me their email addresses. They wanted me to give them that. So see, this is the lesson that I learned. When you talk to people with no agenda, and it's as Eric Worre says, in the 4-step sharing your story process, step number 2 is that you're sharing what you didn't like, / you're sharing your pain, you're sharing your suffering. That's what connects people. And so these ladies shared their suffering with me, and I shared mine, and we connected. That's all it took. I didn't get the pain from the first 2 people trying to sell the gym membership. Now, in retrospect, maybe that's why they're not following up with me. I don't really know. So I'm learning, but we connected. And that's the message here for each of you. If you're trying to grow this list, and as Eric Worre says, you want to add 2 people a day to that list. As soon as I'm done recording this, I'm heading to the gym. I'm going to bring my laptop. And surprisingly, at the gym, I've received 2 email addresses. And so I have reached out to 11 people in this since I started doing this, and gotten 8 email addresses. And I've got 2 substantial conversations going with some people that they're really interested. And I know when these 4 ladies get released from this facility, that's going to be more. And so as you just keep growing that, connecting to people without an agenda, other than to just connect with them, to love them, to listen, because they have the exact same need you do. Their greatest need is to feel love and belonging, and we can deliver that to them. And here's the interesting thing. As we give love, and we give love through with strangers by just listening to them, affirming them, feeling their pain with them. See, that's to them, us giving them love. They will return it to us. That's where we get the love we seek, is from others when we give love. And when you have no agenda and you're out trying to connect to people, it's beautiful. I hope this helps. Go connect to somebody. Go to the mall. Go grab some team members and just connect and see what happens. You guys take care. Rock your life. Woo-hoo. Bye now.